All right, everyone, welcome to United and Everything Football Podcast. We are back from the international break. And as you know, United is back to stress us once again, but we refuse to be broken. We refuse. We will not be broken. All right, so we are back. Today, I'm joined by the squad, Charlie Squad. I was trying to assemble a mini Avengers, but light up happened for some place, so unfortunately one person couldn't join. But today we are joined by Yao Frimpong, we are joined by Michael Akomia the Messiah, and my man are in the same hat today. How do you do, Charlie, I want to ask you guys a question. There is only one game that when you see this kit, it comes to mind. Only one game. Only one game. Southampton. RBB's hat-trick.
It had to be Southampton.
Okay, Van Persie.
Van Persie, the RBB hat-trick. I remember that game so well. So well. I was watching, I think I was watching it at Legon Hall, 1-1, yeah, somewhere around that area. Charlie, well, that was when United was United, and Charlie, you you go to the team.
And we had the coach. We had a good coach.
We had a good coach. Hey. Talking about good coach, he's the first person we'll be talking about. So we'll be talking about Sir Alex Ferguson and what INEOS are doing. Me, I am very biased towards Alex Ferguson. Let me lay down my marker. I'm very biased. Anybody that treats Alex Ferguson anyhow, you have a problem with that person. So me, I've said my own already. But I know, as usual, I know what to do. Remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and also leave your comment, your likes. Please do that for us. It's very, very important. We are back. So please subscribe. Hit the like button, smash it for us, and also leave your comment with us. Let's make a quick turnaround. When we come back, I delve straight into the issues with the guys, and then we discuss everything here on United and Everything Football. All right, thank you very much. Welcome back to United and Everything Football. I'm here with Kwame, I'm here with Yao, and I'm here with Michael. Akomia, what's your day name? So that I can address. Kwabena. So Kwame, Yao, and Kwabena on the show today. Yes. All right. Guys, I've said, I'm very biased towards Sir Alex Ferguson. When SJR, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the news came, I read it and I started laughing. I'm like, what are they up to? This small 2 billion you give to the man annually you want to scrap it.
Small 2 million?
Small 2 million every year. If it wasn't that man, where would we have been? They shouldn't be doing that. Kwame, I'll start with you. I know you're in opposition. That's why I want to start with you. Let's go.
Common sense must always apply.
This is not common sense. We agree. But
common sense. It's common sense. See, Alex Ferguson is 82 years old. Right? Yes. For the past 11 years of our dreaded period post his reign as manager of Manchester United, he has earned £2 million, minimum £2 million every year.
Yeah.
If you do simple, quick math, you're talking about £24 million since the age of 72 years old. He's been earning that amount of money from Manchester United in our dreaded time at the football club. That is enough reward for everything that he's done for us, everything that he had already earned in terms of his bank accounts whilst coaching the club. See, let's just be sensible. And for me, it's not like they did this behind his back. Let's not pretend as if Sir Jim Ratcliffe has just asked Alex Ferguson without any respect or consultation. They've probably had a drink of wine, sipped the drink of wine over this, and gone like, come on, let's just put a marker down here, because we had what happened over the summer. Loads of people were laid off. I mean, if Alex Ferguson himself has been let go of his ambassadorial role, who are you? Who are you at the football club to say the club cannot let you go? £24 million as a handshake for everything that he's done for us is a lot of money. He doesn't need any more of the money. Let's just be honest. He could actually do this ambassadorial role for free. But this man, like the great Bobby Charlton, doesn't have to stress himself anymore. Bobby Charlton stressed himself so he couldn't even remember anything anymore, right? That we had to put him in at home, and then in a few years, unfortunately, he passed away. Alex Ferguson should be able to pick and choose his moments when he comes to this football club. When he wants to watch a certain football game. When he doesn't want to watch, he can also stay at home or go to his race horses, do other things with his life, because he's not got long left. It's not always going to be Manchester
He
United.
doesn't have a wife
United
anymore. He doesn't have a wife anymore. You are you?
Kathy is even gone. Kathy is even gone. So, let him enjoy the rest of his life. Travel, go around, see the rest of the world. He shouldn't be consumed only by Manchester United because you never know. From 8 to 2 going, you're on bonus time. I call it bonus time all the time. I said to my patients sometimes, you're on bonus time. Enjoy the rest of your life. Don't be consumed by just one thing. And then live the rest of your life until God says it's time for you to go. That's just my take on this.
That's what Kwame said. He's our opposition. We've marked him down. We will deal with him later. Yeah, let me get to you. What do you think? There's been a lot of talk. I mean, ex-players are coming from Cantona. I wish I could read what Cantona is saying, but you make your point as you are ending. I'll read a few of the comments that's coming from Dwight York, to Cantona, to a few other people that are making comments with regards to that. But yeah, what's your thoughts?
Well, I would say it's long overdue. Man United need to find ways to keep the club going. Imagine if United had saved about 24 million.
Mm-hmm.
That could have gotten you a decent centre mid a couple of years ago. We wouldn't be where we are now. Beyond that, look, Sir Alex is the reason a lot of us have grown attached to the club. Even beyond his stay at the club, we still follow the club because he's made us see what winning tastes like, feels like. In terms of discipline and structure of a club, yeah, he did do something special for Man United, but that was for football back then. Football has moved on since he left the game. Actually, he left at the right time. Possibly, if you're still in the game, United might be even further behind than they are now. But then, on the other side, look, it's 2.16 million, I think. That's about 6% of Anthony's transfer fee. That's also about £40,000 a week, which could have saved at least 40 jobs out of the 250 people that were laid off. So, in perspective, if United really are doing some cost-cutting measures, it's about a view into the future. This is 2 million that you're not going to get back, not through anything. It's just 2 million you're giving away. So if you can find a way to keep that 2 million, invest it somewhere else in the club, well, save it, whatever be the case, it puts United in a better place. And let's not forget that Sir Alex, he is a bit of a dark figure. If you're Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you love him. You played under him. You're happy he comes into the dressing room. David Moyes, he gave you the job. You're excited when he comes around. But Louis van Gaal wouldn't want that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure Erik Ten Hag wants that. Jose Mourinho, yes, he loved him a bit, but I don't know if you'd want him looking over his shoulder every single time. These are the few scenarios that make you realize that, look, he is a dark figure over any manager that comes in. And it's quite important for Man United to move away from that. You give him a non-executive director role where he can offer advice if he wants. And like Kwame said, he's on bonus time. Let him enjoy the rest of the time that he's got. No heavy responsibilities, and I'm certain that Man United will be better for it. So it's the right direction. The INEOS came to optimize football performance on and off the pitch, and you're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much. Love that. Love every bit of it.
2-1. Akumi, make it 2-2. If you join them, I'll sack you from the plot. Akumi, Akumi, what do you have to say? What do you have to say with regards to this? Don't make it 2-2. Otherwise, I'll sack you.
I think it's quite unfortunate with what has happened with Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely blaming INEOS for taking such a decision on Sir Alex Ferguson, but it is the state of the club or what the club presented itself to be when they took over that has resulted in this particular decision. And their hands are being forced to operate Manchester United as a football club, not another entity away from football. So some of these things may come in or pop up at any time. But where I have issues is, I think INEOS and their PR has not lived up to task since they joined Manchester United. You look at the situation of the coaching when the season ended, how we treated Erik Ten Hag's issue. Personally, I felt it was not the best way to have treated the issue in the media or even PR from the club. Looking through the club media guys that have been posting here and there. Then how the story of Alex Ferguson was actually done by Adam Crafton. That guy thrives on negative Manchester United news. That guy lives by it. So I was actually expecting a counter from INEOS through any of the legit guys, either through Time Sport, Telegraph, or any other place, to let us know the real situation on the ground. Because it seems that it has been painted like we've sacked Ferguson from the club, which is not true. It is something that was discussed amicably.
Yeah.
There was an understanding before the step was taken. And I don't think Ferguson is so much enthused about why are you sacking. No. Nobody has sacked Alex Ferguson from the club in the first place. Nobody. And nobody can sack Sir Alex Ferguson from Manchester United. No one. He has just been relieved of a certain duty. And we've only set boundaries to operate the club as a football club. But he is always with us. He's going to watch games. And I'm sure they are also going to rely on his experience when it comes to advice. So the way the story was brought up, how it has been reported, gives us a certain idea that everything is actually wrong with whatever decision that was taken around Sir Alex Ferguson. And I think that is what has caused a quick reaction from Cantona, Roy Keane, most of these guys. Me, I can tell you for a fact, Ferguson deserves every good thing we are supposed to give him at this time. He is Manchester United. He did everything for the club. He made the club. He knocked Liverpool off the pitch. That is the person we are talking about. But the whole PR and the whole story and everything about moving him from the ambassadorial role to a non-executive board member, some of these things, how the story was carried out, I think INEOS really failed in countering that particular kind of story that came out with their PR. That was really, really, really poor. Do you think someone needs to tell Dan Ashworth the value of Sir Alex Ferguson to Manchester United?
No.
Do you think Sir Jim Ratcliffe doesn't know? Or more or less, do you think these guys, Jason Walkers and Good, they don't know the kind of respect Sir Alex Ferguson carries in that particular team and among these people? I don't think the story even depicts that.
Yeah.
And me, I would say it might be the truth, but it was a poor reportage in a way to attract a lot of comment. Number two, INEOS did not handle the PR in terms of countering that particular story and making it their own so well, which I feel it doesn't give a good image about them in the public.
All right, so that's Akumia. Akumia has a problem with the reportage and other things. But I'm crafting anyway. I won't talk about that.
So is it 2-2 or not?
It is 1.5. 1.5 against 2.5. He's there. So you will take it like that. But these are some of the comments that were passed. This is what Erik Cantona says. Sir Alex Ferguson should be able to do everything he wants at the club until the day he dies. Such a lack of respect. It's totally scandalous. Sir Alex Ferguson will be my boss forever. And I threw them all in the bag of shit. That's what he said. I hope I'm allowed to say it. Throw them in the bag.
YouTube will bleep. YouTube, it's either we bleep it or YouTube will bleep it. I don't know how it's going to go.
Whatever. I should have said it loud so that they know.
You said what you said.
I said what I said. Dwight York on Sir Alex Ferguson's ambassadorship ending says, I'm surprised, as everyone else, we are going through a change at the football club from top to bottom. Everyone is looking over their shoulder at the moment. It's not really a fitting way to treat someone who has done so much for the football club. His contribution is unprecedented. They have been so successful for such a long time. The only people who know what is going on are those who have just come in. I'm not sure if everyone will be in agreement with the changes, but this will raise a few eyebrows. If they can do that to someone like Sir Alex Ferguson, then I suppose everyone is on a tight rope. So for Dwight York, he believes that, well, because I saw a comment from Rio Ferdinand as well. He says, if Sir Alex Ferguson is not sick, how much more any other person in the club? That brings us to yeah. What is this?
Just right now, just thinking, look, maybe United are about to do something big, and they needed to pave the way for it. Yeah. If this can happen to Sir Alex, maybe Erik Ten Hag is on his way out.
Let's get
maybe.
It's a power. It's what we call a.
Ten Hag is on his way out.
It's what we call a power play move, you know.
Yeah.
And for all you know, even Alex Ferguson is in on it. Yeah. For the long-term success of this football club, when it comes to taking certain decisions, he can always be used as a precedent. Yes. That even at a point in time, he was relieved of a certain duty by this club because of this particular reason. So who are you? Basically?
Who are you? You know the interesting thing? I just had a thought. The way Akumia shouted, Erik Ten Hag is on his way out. Beloved, Akumia has defected. He says Erik Ten Hag out. You know, Kwame, what has come to my mind? We are going to do a showdown, a reverse showdown, because now Ticho is arguing that Erik Ten Hag should stay. Akumia is arguing that Erik Ten Hag should go. So we need to have a reverse showdown. So viewers, don't worry. We are going to have a
the tables have turned.
Where Akumia will argue why Erik Ten Hag should be sacked. The Ticho will argue why Erik Ten Hag should be sacked. Akumia, I will start with you. Why should Erik Ten Hag be sacked? What is it? So let me bring people up to speed. So the last time, if you watch our last episode, we tried to talk about the meeting that happened and everything. Well, it came out. There was nothing about Erik Ten Hag sack or stay or whatever that came out of it. He hasn't been told anything. He's back in Manchester. He's preparing the team for the game against Brentford. A preview will be having right after this. But what it says is that Erik Ten Hag is still the coach of Man United. Let me find out from my guys why Erik Ten Hag is being given time amidst the bad statistics, the bad stats that we've seen at the start of the season. Let me start with you.
I think first of all, INEOS wants to have a good image when it comes to Manchester United and some past experiences the club must have had. Then you look at the number of coaches we've sacked within a period of time. I think INEOS wants to start on a positive note that we don't move according to the masses. It's not always about listening to the fans. It's about what we see. It is about the patience we have. It's about the opportunity we want to give everyone. Besides, Dan Ashworth, Jason Vokos, Omar Barreda, most of these guys have worked with Erik Ten Hag, but not for long, especially with Omar Barreda and Dan Ashworth. These two are they are the main key decision makers when it comes to changing the manager and who we are going to bring in. They've not worked with him for a longer period. And if you listen to the backdrop of every discussion from Benny McCarthy, Diego Dalot, all of these guys are saying there's something going on behind the scenes which we have not seen yet. And they strongly believe that one day it will come out and we'll see how good they are. To a certain extent, that Benny McCarthy said that they could train and they feel like they are going to beat every single person in this world. Then they get on the pitch and they don't know what happens. Everything just crumbles. So I don't know what Dan Ashworth, Omar Barreda, and Jason Vokos are seeing whenever the team is training. And I'm sure they are actually going to base their decision and everything around what they see with the team doing training grounds. And they are even much more surprised when it comes to match days and we fail to replicate whatever happened on the training pitches. So they want to be patient, relax, take their time, then make a decision as to who comes in and replace, because they can't afford to buy players for almost 200 million pounds. Bring in another coach that does not actually fit into what they want to do and can continue wherever Erik left off with the players that are there. Then it means we also have to change another set of players, go in for another set of players to fit the new manager. It has been a big problem at the club for so many years. So I think INEOS is trying to correct that. But on the case of Erik Ten Hag, I think he has exhausted everything he can do in this club. Nothing is improving, nothing is changing. And it looks like the more and more we lose games, the more and more hope is lost, even within these players. Some of the players are already giving up. It's already 7 matches, but I'm telling you, some of these players are giving up. Because they know that whenever we set up, this is what is going to happen. Whenever we play, this is what is going to happen. Changes are more or less, or substitutions are more or less like, it's quite identical. We know what he can, we know what he's going to do when it's this minute. This is how Erik Ten Hag set up. And every team is much more courageous. They are cutting us through. And all you need against Manchester United is to either score the first goal, or whenever Manchester United is leading by 2 goals, they'll just score 1. They will break down. They will break down totally. It's not going to finish us. And psychologically, a lot of teams are ahead of us. Whenever they play us, mentality, everything that they bring into the game, it looks like they're ahead of us. And I feel Erik Ten Hag has exhausted every tactics he knows. And I think there is not enough motivation coming into this particular team with what he brings in. What is he going to say new? What is he bringing up fresh? Everything looks like the same. Nothing has actually changed. I've watched like 4 or 5 games continually, and the same thing keeps on happening. He's not even in a position to even adapt. And I think you people will even cry because now I'm out on sabbatical leave. You people are going to cry on Saturday when you see John Evans playing as the left back. but in normal sense, there is a need for adaptation where you can actually go with a 3-back system, fit in Harry Amas to try and help cover his deficiencies in defending. But Ten Hag will still stick to the 4-1-4-1 in terms of possession with a 3-1-6 up front. And whenever they will cut through us like a slice of bread with butter, then straight they come in. I think everything is not working. He's only just postponing his death. No, sorry. If I use that, I'm being harsh.
Oh,
he's just postponing.
It's a figurative speech, so don't worry. We're thinking like that.
He's just postponing a funeral that is supposed to be done for him. And
I don't know whether that makes it better.
Yeah, it makes it better.
INEOS are in no rush to change him because I think INEOS feel there are 2 pathways to qualify for the Champions League next season. They believe there is the Europa League, and they also believe that there is the league format. And I'm telling you, the top 4 in the league is not entirely decided until we get to January, something of that sort. And I know the Europa League will also go into next year before it even starts another knockout stage. So they are going to give him up to December, or maybe we look at the November, before the November internationals, look at what he can do. If he fails to fulfill whatever they want to do and he's still unconvincing, I'm sure Ruud van Nistelrooy will step in for some time. Then they will work on a substantive coach. Try and find a ways and means to support Ruud van Nistelrooy to qualify for us for at least the Champions League. If we even go jobless, then the rest is going to continue. But I feel Erik Ten Hag is exhausted. I don't know what he's going to add to this team. I don't know. If you people have seen it, tell me, because I can't see anything new he's going to add to this team, either psychologically, tactically, technically. I don't even know.
Apubia has gotten there. Akubia has he's really. I personally, I am of the view that the guy has hit the wall. He simply doesn't know what's next. But are you of the same opinion, or what's your general thoughts on this whole Erik Ten Hag staying or INEOS's decision? Because we were told he was getting 2 games and he drew those games, and there was a meeting and there was nothing said. He still continued. A lot of things, a lot of news happening. But what's your thoughts on it?
With how Porto ended, I genuinely thought he was gonna leave, regardless of the result against Aston Villa. However, he found a way. I don't know what he spoke to them about or whatever they saw, but this is someone you funded his squad build, and you've given him what he wants. He's got his, I said this last time, he's got his first choice defensive setup, first choice goalkeeper. Now he's got a central midfielder that can actually play defensive for him. And going forward, he's brought Xerxes in there. He's got Anthony on the right. And he's got his own coaching staff in there as well. He's added on to the quality. The only problem now is he seems to be very stubborn in his ways. He's set on playing a certain way and not ready to adapt with the kind of players he has. And his decisions don't seem to make sense. I know some years ago we used to laugh at Liverpool that was it Roy Hodgson or one of their managers had their substitutions pre-planned.
Yeah.
So literally 60th minute, you know this person's going off, this person's coming on. And it's the same thing with Ten Hag at the moment. Whoever is having a good game, you realize that that person is going to be taken off, regardless of however the game is going. It's happened to Diallo, it's happened to Rashford, it's happened to Garnacho, and it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Because you want to manage a player doesn't mean that you don't read between the lines. And that's one problem that it seems United are fixing.
Say that point again, where he always talks about rotation. It looks as if he's limited with vocabulary, so rotation is the go-to when every time he has this problem.
And for someone that has given youth an opportunity before, I actually did that. You'd expect that Harry Amas, Alvaro Fernandez, who's left now, but look, United would have given another left back a chance because Luke Shaw wasn't fit, Malacia wasn't fit. All of a sudden, Dallo is now our first choice left back. And now Mazraoui is unavailable and he has to go back to his position. So then it makes you wonder, look, just trust the youth. That's something United have done very well. Darren Fletcher didn't just pop out of nowhere. He came into the United setup when United needed someone with energy in the middle, and he did a good job. And he discovered or created a niche position for himself. And for some reason, big games come on, and you watch United setup, and it's got Fletcher, it's got O'Shea. Anfield, not a couple of years ago, a long time ago, John O'Shea scoring that beautiful goal against Liverpool. And it's all because Sir Alex just trusted. He trusted certain players. And I'm not seeing that from Erik Ten Hag. And that's one concern, because if you're trusting the youth, United or INEOS is moving in a way where they're recruiting the best kids that you can find on the block. So if the manager isn't ready to give those players a chance, then what is the point in keeping the manager? You want someone that's developing talent and also pushing to get the team where it's supposed to. And I don't see that with him. I think centre-back, there's this kid, Will Fish. He's gone off somewhere.
Yeah.
United, I understand INEOS's football business operations are slightly different from what we're used to, where they're trying to create value for players, move them. If they become good someday, they get them back. That's fine. But here's the case that the manager isn't even making a case to keep some of these talents because your squad is thin. You haven't got enough quality in there, and you're not doing anything to keep those that can actually augment the squad. You said, I think Akomia mentioned that we'll be seeing Johnny Evans playing left back, and that would be dreadful for Man United because you've got Martinez, you've got Evans, you've got Maguire, you've got De Ligt, and then you decide to play one of them at left back. It doesn't work. You need to trust the youth. That's one side. His pattern of play against Villa, first 5 minutes, United looked like a team that knew what they were doing. Once Villa settled, they didn't have a shot on target, granted, but Man United didn't get going either. And it seemed United set up for a draw because he knew that there's some heat coming. Yeah. And that's not what we expect. We're Man United, we attack always. It doesn't matter who we're playing. I look back at City beating us 6-1 at Old Trafford, and I remember what Patrice ever said. He said at 3-4-1, we thought we can go, we can do something about it. And that is the ethos or mentality of Man United. We talk about culture. Sir Alex created a culture of winning, a mentality of winning. And it didn't matter who you were playing. I look at Kwame's shirt today. I just look at 99. United were rubbish in the game. But when it mattered, they got the goal. And no one talks about the game. Just talk about those 2 goals, the time it came. And that is what Man United are about.
Yeah.
And I don't seem to find that Ten Hag is doing a good job. If you've been supported the way he's been, honestly, if Mourinho was at the club and he got this kind of support, forget the kind of football he will play. He'll win you stuff.
Yeah.
He will win you stuff, hands down.
Daddy.
Louis van Gaal, on the other hand, maybe he wouldn't win you stuff, but he'll get in players that can play the way he wants to. It'll be boring. United wouldn't be beaten 6-1 or 5-0 or 4-0. It'll be a 1-0 or a draw. He'll find a way to make it as boring as possible, slow down the game, and use the players the way he thinks they should be used. Yeah. And I think I chanced on a game on TV just last night, and I saw Daley Blind in the middle. I was like, how I wish that guy was still at United. These are kind of things that will make you realize that the manager knows what they're doing. But look, Ten Hag, I gave him till December last season, and I think I'll give him the same this season again. If he goes beyond December, if results don't change and he goes beyond December, then I know INEOS are in just to do commercial football business. That's what they're here to do. Not like the Glazers where it's just commercial business. But they just want to find ways to market the club, sell some shirts, sell some players, and then balance their books.
Okay.
But that's what I think. Ten Hag out by December.
Ten Hag out by December. That's according to you. That's a very good one. You know what? Let's make a quick turnaround. When we come back, I'll get to Kwame, and then we'll talk about the game against Brentford and how we should approach it. And maybe we'll do a bit of Black Stars. If you're a Ghanaian, we'll talk about Black Stars so that you get to understand what's happening. A quick turnaround. We'll be right back after this. Okay, we are back once again on United and Everything Football Podcast. So that's Yao ending his analysis on Erik Ten Hag, whether he stays or not, what he thinks. Kwame, the last time you did a lot of, I don't want to spend time on you because you have already discussed everything that we need to hear.
Off the side.
Yeah. What do you have to top up with? Just let me give you some 2-3 minutes. Even that's a lot.
Oh, that's a lot. It's too much. I'll just say our guests have said it all. But then what I will say is, like I said in the previous recording, I think they're going to give him more time. And the reason being that it's data. It just comes back to data. You have to be fair to the new people who have been appointed, right? That when they are making a decision, ultimately it will be because they were very sure of what they were saying. I told you that probably in a month's time, it will be more decisive then than it was this past international break, because this is the number of games we would have played. We would have played 11 league games, 4 European games, and 2 cup games. When you put that together, quick math, that's 17 games.
Yeah.
Often we play about 50 games a season. We always put it at that, roughly 50 games a season. If you do the math, you're talking about 17 games is about a third. 4%. Actually, a third. Yeah, a third of the season, right?
Yeah.
And a third of the season, I think, is enough for you to make projections as to how the season can go.
Yeah.
Because if, let's say, after 11 league games, you are still wallowing in 10th, 11th, fourth position after 11 league games, after a third of the season, is very distant.
Right.
That's Champions League position in jeopardy.
Yeah.
If after half your group games in the Europa League, 4 of them, because you're bound to play 8 group games, you haven't won any, and you are lingering in 16th and 18th, and you're not going to make an automatic qualification into the next stage of the competition.
Yeah.
That is also not a good sign. So they could sit down after that number of games and say to yourself, after 17 games, you only have probably a League Cup run to show for it, as in we've qualified, we've beaten Leicester City, because I know we will definitely beat Leicester City and move to the next round.
Yeah.
But your league position does not show that you are going to give us Champions League football. Europa League, which is the second route to Champions League football, is also in jeopardy. And I think that is the only reason they'll pull the plug. Because historically, over the past 11 years, we have almost always sacked managers when Champions League football is seemingly in jeopardy.
Yep.
Because fans may not like to hear this, but the financial implications of playing Champions League football appeals especially to new owners right now.
Yeah.
When these new owners spend lots of money to buy English football clubs, the allure of playing in the Champions League and the financial rewards that it comes with, it's very, very important to them.
Right.
So at a point when they realize that the numbers don't stack up in terms of us actually making Champions League football, right? They'll basically pull the plug. So if things don't change drastically in the next 4 league games, that's against Brentford to start with, we go to West Ham, we play Chelsea at home, and I think we play Leicester City.
Yeah.
No, or we go to, is it Ipswich or we play Leicester City? I think we play Ipswich in our last game, our last Premier League game. And then we play Leicester City in the Cup. Then we play Fenerbahce away, Jose Mourinho, interesting, in the Europa League game. And then we also play PAOK at home in the Europa League game. These are our games over the next 4 weeks. Yeah. If things don't turn around drastically, we'll be having a different conversation in 4 weeks' time.
We'll be having a different conversation, says Kwame, on Erik Ten Hag. For me, the way is his front. Whatever he decides to do, he's on his own. I said it right after the Brighton game. Erik Ten Hag is on his own. He's proven stubborn. He's doing whatever he has to do, but he has to do whatever he has to do to keep himself in a job. I've always said that if he's able to turn things around, he should have Dan Ashworth and other people to thank for, because I think the decision rests on them. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said it, that he likes Erik Ten Hag, but the decision rests on Dan Ashworth and the people that he's paying top dollar, or the people he referred to them as the best in class to make those decisions. So Kwame did a very beautiful analysis in our last episode on why Dan Ashworth would want to be patient in seeing to whether Erik Ten Hag maybe finds his rhythm, and if he's unable to do it, they'll pull the plug. So yeah, just being patient with him. So that's it with Erik Ten Hag. But let's delve straight into the game. Akubia, against Brentford, a team that in 3 games or so have scored within the first 2 minutes or so, and knowing Manchester United.
There is no spot McTominay, so it's either a win or draw for Brentford.
Yeah, hey, now take your time and analyze the game, man. A win or draw, say. Relax, say.
There is no Scott McTominay. Last season, the difference was Scott McTominay.
Yeah, but this season, there are lots of people in there. Ericsson is back in form. What's his name?
Is it?
Let's go on. Yeah.
I think how we've been set up and how Brentford has been playing and being consistent with their manager, Saturday's game proved to be one of the most difficult games for Erik Ten Hag. Also, on a note that we are playing without a left back in this game. We don't have Malacia. We don't have Luke Shaw. We don't have Mazraoui to push Diogo Dalot to the left back. So I think Erik Ten Hag might go with an option of having Victor Lindelof playing as the right back, then putting Diogo Dalot in that left back position. But I'm only imagining how anyone could be able to stop Brian Mbeumo. Kwame, no matter how you analyze this game tactically, we will still see the old things. 3-1-6 build up. A gap or a hole in the midfield. Counter-attack against us swiftly. Overload the left-hand side of Manchester United's defense. Create from that particular position. Then use set pieces. We are done.
We are finished.
So in the end,
it is over.
In the end, what are you saying?
You see, I'm not hopeful for this game at all, to be very honest. Especially we are also coming back from the international break.
Yeah.
This is a game I'll be very surprised. Let me say, I'll be very surprised if Manchester United wins the game against Brentford.
Akumia says you'll be very surprised. Yeah, will you be very surprised? Get into the game. Akumia has given his diagnosis. He's already diagnosed the problem and has ended that we are going to lose. What are you saying now?
Man United always find a way to win at home. That has been the tradition. If we're losing at home, we're losing badly.
Yeah.
But this is an opponent that we still have amends to make. Last season, we managed to scrape by thanks to Scott. And then we went away, didn't really have a great performance, drew that one as well. 2 seasons ago, panicked by Casemiro from what they did to us when we went to Brentford. And this season, they've shown that look, they are probably one of the well-drilled and best organized teams in the league because they are consistent in the way they want to play. It's very, very simple. They have direct counterattacks, not the elaborate ones where you end up taking too many touches and the opponent sets up. Within 3, 4, 5 passes, in your half. And in terms of pressing, they are, I think, second highest in the league in terms of pressing teams in the attacking third. So then they would be forcing turnovers for a Man United team that has only Martinez, who's comfortable on the ball in defense. The other players are a bit dodgy and shaky sometimes. And then you have a central midfielder that, if it's Kobe Menu, he can be a bit slow. And if they target him, they can force turnovers. If it's Casemiro, he can do anything and give the ball away. And Ugarte is still getting up to pace with the league. That is another issue United have to deal with. But I am worried for whoever plays on the left-hand side for Man United because Mbeumo, he's on good form. Yeah. And you realize the way Brentford have been playing, it could be anybody that ends up on the right-hand side. They would prefer Mbeumo, but Mbeumo can be at the end of the course, finishing off the move. It could be Wissa putting the ball in there. It can be Damsgaard, it can be Norgard, just because everybody's comfortable once they're in an attacking phase. And with their low block that they set up, Man United wouldn't have the luxury of playing the ball in behind them and having Rashford or Garnacho chasing the ball. So then United they need their creative players to come alive. Bruno Fernandes, Eriksen, Amad Diallo, they need to get on the ball and need to pass around.
You are not hopeful at
all. I'm just saying what United can do. If it will happen, is another thing. But then Brentford, I just see them to be a lot more composed, a bit more settled on the way they want to play. Yeah. In terms of adding to their team, they've added 1 or 2 players, but the way they want to play is still the same. And in terms of being direct, United at the start of every game is slow. Yeah. So that's 1 minute to 2 minutes thing, no. If I was INEOS, bet me or something. Go there. I'm telling you.
First 5 minutes, Brentford to score.
Go.
Honestly. And even West Ham, Soucek said it. He said, we watched the video over and over again and we saw that this is what they've been doing this season.
But we couldn't stop
it. We're embarrassed. You still couldn't stop it. They see it as a set piece. Yeah. If you allow them to start, they know what they're going to do. 1, 2, 3, they are in your half. The ball is coming in. Yeah. And every football team, they say this in FIFA all the time. You're most vulnerable when you score. Yeah. From a kickoff. A kickoff, you think, okay, I'm on a high. Yeah. I don't think they're going to try and score. And that's what they do, exactly what they do. Yeah. And Man United really need to be wary of that. But look, Collins and Pinnock have actually been in inspired form. They conceded 3 against Wolves, but look, these are people that can offer a goal. They can put themselves about. And in terms of set pieces, Akumi was talking about it. Overload Man United left back, put it across. You're scoring. Yeah. Mazraoui was doing a decent job at the beginning of the start of the season. Yeah. He was getting in there, late tackles. Yeah. But he has seen that the job is plenty. He has given up because he can't do it by himself. Yeah. If you're covering, if you're covering De Ligt, you're covering Martinez, you're covering Dallo, eventually you give up. And his his injury or whatever has caused him to be out has come at the right time for him. He needs the rest. And the only way Man United can get something out of this is if they sack Ten Hag before the match.
God, what a depressing way to analyze. Oh, God. Oh, Erik Ten Hag. Maba. Kwame, let's go.
All right, since everybody is all doom and gloom, I was as well just
But you know,
doom
Kwame, listen to this. See, now I'm really confused about the team. See, which players are injured? Which players are fit?
I was going to start from there. It's a perfect place to start.
Because now everything make basa. Because I don't really get, so which players are injured? Now we know, okay, let me start. Harry Maguire is injured, right?
I'll go through it. I'll go through it for you.
Kwame, go through it.
I'll go through it for you. So it starts from tonight as we record this podcast.
Yes.
Kobe Mainoo is out for 4 weeks. Maybe you've not seen it, but he's out for 4 weeks. Yeah. Breaking news. It's just out. It's out for 4 weeks.
Another excuse for Erik Ten Hag.
That's the latest injury report. Kobe Mainoo is out for 4 weeks. So that's where we start from. Yesterday, Ugarte also got injured for Uruguay. He came out after like 85 minutes. Yeah, but we don't know much about the injury. And then the issue is, his travel situation from South America coming. It takes a bit of time. If he's not, he might not even be ready to start on Sunday. So that's another thing. Then there is the defensive issue with Mazraoui and then Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is also out for weeks. That's also documented with the calf issue. But the Mazraoui situation, a couple of people on Twitter and on YouTube wanted to know exactly what's the problem with Mazraoui is.
Yeah, you're a doctor.
Like they're asking themselves, what the heck is he injured? Is he sick? Is he ill? What is the situation? So he has what they call a cardiac arrhythmia. In layman's language, it's just an abnormal heartbeat. Abnormal heartbeat. It's either your heart is beating too fast or your heart is beating too slow. I don't want to go to the technical definitions of that. Or sometimes the rhythm of your heart is just not correct.
Correct, yeah.
But then there are various different types of it. There are various risk factors for it. You want to ask, how come he's an athlete, he's a sportsman, and this has happened to him? But science, we always have to find reasons for certain things happening. So there's something we called a fitness-induced cardiac arrhythmia. It happens in athletes who partake in endurance activities. Very often in long-distance athletes, but it can also happen in footballers. Yeah. Right? Of which it's been documented, it's been said that he has had this problem before. Yeah. And it's not something that is new to the medical staff at Manchester United. I have an issue with the medical staff at Manchester United, but they are saying this is not something that is new to them. It's something they had already seen and they are prepared to take care of. And in taking care of it, people are asking, how did they manage such a situation? I do not want to put a downer on how our healthcare system in Ghana is, right? Because there are some things that I saw in books in Ghana that I never ever saw until I moved here. There's what they call non-invasive treatments for these conditions. From where I come from, we just give some blockers here and there, some tablets here and there, and then you just move on with your life. You know what I'm trying to say. But then over here, it is not difficult to find the electrical cardioversion machine sitting in a corner, and they just pick it up and they just attach the parts on your chest and they just try and reverse your tachycardia for you. It's not difficult for them to find all sorts of things they can use for ablation to cure your problem. These are not complicated procedures. In a few weeks, they put you on a Holter ECG to monitor your heart rate to see whether it's come back to normal, and you are good to go. Okay. So I'm sure one of these non-invasive procedures have been done for him, of which they expect it to reverse the problem that he's having, and then he'll be good in no time. It's just precautionary. It's not something that should be, it's not severe. It's something that happens very, very often. So he should be good to go in a few weeks. That's the situation with him. So we have injuries. We have injuries to start with, but this time around, injuries is not an excuse. The reason being that, I was saying that we don't have a depth in squad. We actually do. He's not using the squad well enough for you to recognize that we have good depth in the squad. That's the issue. If you're not using the tools that you have properly, it looks like you don't even have tools. Right. But Erik Ten Hag actually does have players who can fit in, but it's either he's refusing to use them or he's refusing to use them properly. So what are we going to do in our defense with this issue? Ideally, a change in system to cater for the fact that you do not have fullbacks would be in order. But I don't think we're going to see that. Like Akomia has said, we're going to see the same 4-1-4-1 system. When we are in possession, it's going to be a 3-back, whatever system going forward, and we are going to see all those situations. But what could he realistically do? We are going to probably see Lindelof at. I very often go off what he does in a previous game to cater for a situation. To go like that's what he will probably do in the next game. Akomia is right. Lindelof will play right back. Dalot will probably stick at left back. We are going to have a centre back partnership of probably Johnny Evans and what do you call it? Johnny Evans and
De Ligt or Martinez.
De Ligt or Martinez, and De Ligt will be reinstated based off Martinez's situation. He also came. I think he played 15 minutes of the game against Bolivia or so. So we could say maybe he may be up there in fitness, but he's also coming from South America. We might as well just see De Ligt and Johnny Evans start as centre back, and that's just an awkward defense to start with. In midfield, now Christian Eriksen is his new McTominay. No that and no peace. He is starting every game for Manchester United until his heart probably drops and it stops beating and he drops dead. I don't know whether YouTube will bleep this too, but then he's not going to get up. He's actually in decent form. I think he scored and assisted 11 games for club and country this season. Some way, somehow, Christian Eriksen has come back to life. He's his new McTominay. He's going to play. Bruno Fernandes would 100% play. Now that Kobe Mainoo is out, now that Ugarte has fitness issues, Casemiro is definitely going to play. He's at Carrington right now, chomping up the bits. Probably he's going to start before. That's your midfield for you. If you're happy with that, that's the oldest midfield Manchester United can actually put up. A 30-year-old captain, a 32-year-old Danish international with one hat, half a hat, and then Casemiro, who can't run anymore. That's the midfield that's going to face Brentford. In attack, Amad Diallo is at Carrington, Garnacho is at Carrington, Rashford is at Carrington. We don't know who our centre forward would be at the end of the day. I think he sees Rasmus Højlund to be his number one centre forward, so he may start. Rashford would definitely start, in my opinion. I don't know whether he starts either Amad Diallo or Garnacho based on how fit they are, but one of them will start on the right. You know, the reports came out a few days ago. Like I've been saying, even before a ball was in the season, that Anthony is not going to be a Manchester United player in the next 6 months. It's been reported that he will be loaned out with the aim of selling him in the summer if he does well on loan. He's a man on borrowed time. He's a big money signing by Erik Ten Hag that has completely failed. I do not consider him when I'm thinking about starters at Manchester United. I don't even consider him when I'm thinking of players who are coming off the bench to influence the game. He's not going to change the game for me. So forget about Anthony. So that's it. If this is the team that we think should be able to do something, well, if you ask my honest opinion, I don't think we'll lose, but I'm not sure we'll win. That's the thing. So it's either a draw.
So for the bet people, it's either
for the betting man, it's either a draw or a loss. Yeah, it's all doom and gloom, right? I told you, results are always going to go from here on. It's just going to go up and down, and I see it just kicking off right from the get-go this weekend.
All right, so that's Kwame's analysis of the game against Brentford. The Kobe Mainoo injury situation has hit me. I didn't see it come.
It has finished you.
It has finished me. I mean, the way you said it, it really dazed me briefly. But anyway, so that's the current situation with Man United. So we'll see how it goes in the game. So remember to drop your comments on the game and what you think as well in the comment section below. Also remember to like and I mean, hit the subscribe button as well. We need to get to the 2,000 subscribers quickly. So please help us get there. Let's spend some 5 minutes on the Black Stars, and then let's get out of here. Will you start? Black Stars. We are missing out on the AFCON. You know, we do AFCON daily here on this channel.
Oh, brilliant.
Now, by virtue of the fact that Black Stars are not qualifying, please, I'm telling you, we will bring you AFCON daily. It's because of
you can do it. You can do it. Maybe Ivory Coast will be there, so Nigeria will be there. So at least you have other West African countries.
I mean, It's happening. What is really happening? Yeah, let me hear you.
I've been talking about Ghana football for a long time, and I personally feel the structures don't work. If the structures were working, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
Player selection wise, in terms of player development, pathway for players. I saw Madueke playing under 20, under 17. Jadon Sancho under 20, under 17. Phil Foden under 20, under 17. And you saw where they went after that, and you've seen where they are now.
Yeah.
They are key cogs for their national team. Here is the case where in Ghana, people are not seen. I don't know Jerome Opoku. I didn't know him. Okay, I knew him from Germany. I was following him some time ago. But all of a sudden, he's a national team player. Not that I have an issue with him. I'm just mentioning in his particular case. There's just so much wrong with the way we do football in Ghana for the domestic scene and then for our national teams. And if we can't fix that, we should forget it. Qualifying for tournaments, we may qualify, but if we get there, we'll come back after the first round. It happens it's been happening in women's football for us. It's happening in our men's game as well, and it's not going to change.
Yeah.
We need a great shift. I know Professor Minta now is our technical director. He needs to really push for them to put certain structures in place. We've got under 15, under 16, under 17, under 18, under 19 national teams. For what? All of that is great if we know that it will progress all these players into certain systems, into certain clubs, into the national team. But this is just a mechanism for them to market players and then they'll sell. And the value will not come back to the league. So what is the point? In terms of coaching, Otoado got it wrong massively. You go against a Sudan team, they showed you what they would do defensively when they came to your home. So when you go there, you don't go and do the same thing. You sit back and give them something to let them come at you, and then you use the attacking talent, the pace of Nyama, Kudus, and well, you didn't want to play Jordan. That's another issue. But you needed your experienced heads for this particular doubleheader. Partey wasn't available, but they should have assembled a team of players that had the experience. They played this before. Once you bring all these youngsters in there, they have energy, but they don't have the experience. They can't use the head. And that is what let us down. And there was no leader. Yeah. That's what I'll say. If you have a leader on the field, this was one game I missed the day. I wouldn't lie. Because we wouldn't be going to Sudan and getting beat. The objective will be clear. We get an early goal, and then we now allow them to come at us, hit them on the counter. But Otoado knows what he saw in Accra, so that's why he played the way he did. But it is what it is. Ghana was not going to the AFCON, and at least we can all focus on our Premier League in January.
Agobia, let me get to you. You have been quite vocal on your on where you work at Sompa FM.
I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, Agobia. Oh God, we have just 10 minutes to go. Agobia, I just got a prompt.
I'll be
he can have 8 of them. He can have 8.
But the first thing I'll have to say is I have a lot of things to say in November. For now, maybe the discussion can revolve around there is a hope for us to qualify, either that we should win the next 2 matches. That is the excuse they are going to give to calm things down.
Okay.
I don't believe in that. You know me. I gave up in a big day in Ivory Coast. That is when I gave up on Black Stars.
When you did Aluta, when you were doing Aluta.
But the truth of the matter is, this is a national team that has seen a downhill. This is not the first time we failed to qualify for the AFCON. We even did it for some time before we qualified for 1992 AFCON.
Yeah.
We also went consistently into various AFCONs till we went off again in 2004. Then we became consistent. Within those period of times, what did we do right to correct the wrongs that we did to perform consistently? I believe we should reset everything when it comes to the Black Stars. And we needed this particular humbling to to do that particular reset.
Yeah.
We are too arrogant to a certain extent that we believe we are still the Black Stars of olden times. And we failed to change with time when it comes to how football has developed on the continent. Right. In terms of administrative management of a football club. I saw someone make a comment like, let's look at the local players. Let's fit the. I'm telling you point blank today, these local players, they are not fit for the Black Stars.
Correct.
No, not even close. Not even close.
Correct. It's like we all watch it. All of us here, we watch the local league. All of us here.
We watch the league. We know the quality we see in the league. We know the things we see. And someone was saying in 2004, let me say something. In 2004, the reason why we were able to use some local players in attachment to the foreign players to get results was because we had two clubs who were competing in continental competition at the highest level.
Consistently.
Because in 2004, 2005, there was Koroko and House of Folk in the CAF Confederations Cup final.
Yep.
So when you have such a security, you can bring in such local players, add them to the foreigners, try to play your qualifiers.
Yeah.
Because they know the terrain, they understand what it means to play on African grounds.
Correct.
Because they are playing Africa, they are scoring away, they are scoring home. And they have even gone to the extent of playing in the final. It is totally different from what we see now.
Yeah.
Now we need to change a lot of things from the top. Since Opoku Free retired or even resigned from being the Black Stars team manager, he's been a failure. Indiscipline here and there. Opoku Free was managing the likes of Suleiman Muntari, these guys.
Yeah.
Mike Hillian, these top guys. He knew how to handle them. By now, it is Aminu Shadu, who is the Black Stars management head.
Team manager.
Tell me, there's no disrespect to Aminu Shadu. I really respect him so well. He's one of the people I really love. But the issue is he fit for that capacity? Do you think these players are going to respect him? These players will go to their clubs, see top administrative managers. They come to Black Star and they see Aminu Shadu. Do you think they are going to do what they are supposed to do or he told them to do? Then you look at Otuado. We have the weakest technical team when it comes to the whole Africa now. Because if Otuado wants to do changes, he turns behind him and he says, John Pencil. No, let's be realistic to ourselves. He turns his back and there's John Pencil. And you ask so many questions when it comes to certain things. So you look at Thomas Partey, who is trained by Mikel Arteta. You look at Mohamed Kudus, who is trained by Lopetegui. You look at some of these players and the kind of, even with Salisu at Monaco with Ada Huta, he comes to Black Stars and there's Otuado. And when he's not playing well, Otuado, you want to shout on him to change. My friend, there are levels to this game. It's like taking an SHS teacher to go to the university to go and teach level 3 students. You know this. You've been lecturing at some places. You know this.
Yes, I know.
Psychologically, there are some players that are not going to be up to the task. There are a lot of revelations we have around. And one of them I would love to say is how Otuado went to the UK. Otuado went to the UK before the game against Sudan. He spoke with Thomas Partey and he spoke with Mohamed Kudus. You remember Mohamed Kudus was at one game between Arsenal and somebody in the Champions League. There was a meeting between Otuado and Kudus and Thomas Partey. After the meeting, he called Jordan and told Jordan that he really likes him a lot, but Jordan should work on his leadership skills. The captain was already decided in London. It was not decided in Ghana. And already the fractions in the Black Stars, if anybody tells you the Dayu doesn't still have an influence in the national team, is a lie. And I'm not here to blame the Dayu for the misfortunes of the Black Stars. That is far away from it. I'm only trying to insinuate a certain level of division that is within the team. And how people perceive things. So do you think Jordan is really going to take it easy? You have given his brothers number 10 and Captain Samban to someone. Let's sometimes
Otuado is not reading the room. Otuado is not reading the room.
You see, and
Ten Hag, small difference.
You see, Jordan on his 90th cap, it was Amate who captained the team. Do you think he's Jordan is a small player? I'm not talking about even at the club side. In terms of the national team, Jordan was with the team at 2014 World Cup. So he comes back, he starts a game, and probably one of his best games for the Black Stars was against Sudan in Accra. And he was substituted. So you saw how angry he was
talking to the rest. Ketokreku and Co. They were in Switzerland playing competition whilst we were seriously trying to find a way to qualify for the AFCON.
The elephant in the room. Address the elephant in the room.
And the
He who may not be named.
As I am hearing,
hurry up, we have 3 minutes.
Not even aware that they took this team to Switzerland. I'll say this here again. You see, the parable of talent in the Bible. The reason why everyone that will tell me that the GFA is not responsible for whatever is going on, I'll be very angry. He gave one 5 talents. He gave one 2 talents, and he gave one 1 talent. When he came back and he saw that the one with the 5 talents have actually worked and multiplied the 5 talents, he said, "Oh, thank you so much, my faithful servant, in whom I am well pleased." He said the same thing to the second one who doubled up the 2. But the one that kept his own somewhere, I don't know how he did it, but did not get any benefit from it. He told him that you are lazy, you are wicked, you are evil. Today, I'm here to tell the GFA that they are wicked, they are evil. We gave them something to look after. They could not multiply it. Today, we've dropped from a certain level since 2019 normalization. We've gone out of the AFCON from round of 16. When we won the AFCON when it was 8 teams. When it became 16 teams, we struggled to even qualify, but we qualified and we became consistent. Now, the biggest disgrace is 24 teams now and we can't qualify. This is the worst administrative management of the Black Stars I've ever seen. And there's an ESCO over there. And we have Mark Ado, who is the vice president of the Ghana Football Association.
And the management committee chairman of the Black Stars.
And look at what he's doing. And this is the result. And nobody has said a single word.
Our time
After November, these people will hear from us.
Our time is up. Kwame, I'm sorry, okay? You won't get something.
Oh, don't worry. All our add is we reap what we sow.
Amen. Amen.
End of the gospel.
If you are a United fan and you're a Ghanaian, this is for you, okay? So enjoy it, okay? We are suffering. We are all in it together. This is what...
Very soon I'll change my nationality.
With 2 bad men.
Very soon I'll change my nationality, so we will not be in this together.
God will punish you. God will punish you. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us on the podcast today. It's been fun talking United, talking Alex Ferguson, talking Erik Ten Hag, talking United, Brentford, and we ended with the Black Stars. Very shambolic. Very, very shambolic. Not seen anything like this in a very long while. 20 years, a cycle has come to an end. A new cycle is about to start because we missed out 20 years ago. 20 years down the line, we are not missing. We are not playing in the AFCON.
The next 20 years will be glorious, man.
Well, gentlemen, okay. All right, so that's it. It's a wrap here on United Everything Football. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great time. Bye-bye.